Here we go. All right, guys. Happy Wednesday. I am Cassie Bollinger. We are going to kind of go over some stuff on Work It Wednesday tonight. A couple of things that I want to go over is basically sampling, and then we're going to go over the incentive. We are almost at the end of the month. We have one more week left. And that way everybody can kind of start realizing or looking at where your incentive points are at for the first month. And now, again, our incentive goes for 6 months. So it doesn't end until the end of January. So let's see. And then we'll talk about a couple other things. Now, if you want to hop on and you want to let us know what you're wanting to hear about tonight, or maybe you have questions at any point in time, you can, if you're on the Zoom, you can either raise your hand, you can tap it in chat. If you're on Facebook watching us, you can type it in there and I will check it back and forth. I do have it up. That way I'm putting it on a different screen so I don't get too distracted by it, but that way I can still see the comments if I do this right, because it's way over there. Okay, so I can still see the comments, but I don't see myself doing all crazy things. So I watched a video today and it was about bulk sampling, and it was by Joanna Luna. And if you've ever heard any of stuff from Joanna Luna, she's an SSD. She does amazing sampling, and she went through, and it's on her YouTube, and I can always share the video because she has a Google Drive that she lists every single thing that she uses from Amazon. Like the bags, let's see, the different type of bags, the colored bags, what samples that she puts in what. So like the sugar scrub, it's like 20 plus samples per container. And then she puts what container she uses for that. Fragrance mist, washer whiffs, laundry liquid, dryer disc, counter clean, dish soap, bathroom cleaners, Scentsy pets, wax samples, room sprays. So she actually goes through and tells you how much samples she gets out of each one, and also where she gets all the packaging to get them all packaged up when they're done. So the bulk sampling, she kind of went through on why do we do bulk sampling? Like, bulk sampling is probably one of the best tools that we have in our business. And this is the reason why. We are a fragrance company. Now, as a fragrance company, how do you get fragrance in front of people that you don't see every day? They need samples. They need to be able to smell, because as a fragrance company, they need to smell what fragrances we have so that they know what they're going to purchase, or at least what it's going to smell like. Some of the basics of our business, one thing to think about is that if you are new, or if you've been in for a couple of months, maybe a year, guys, I am still working on my sampling. This to me was an aha moment whenever I went through and watched this, because I have been sampling other things. But the breakdown of how she does it and why she does it was the aha moment for me. I have sent out free samples to anybody who's asked. I've sent it through, because I will post in some of the marketplaces or some of the mom talks groups local to me to get new customers. Well, that's great, but then they're getting free samples and I'm mailing stuff out for free. So how is that productive for my business if I'm giving away a product? She talks about that the reason why you sample is that 73% of people are more likely to purchase a product they just tried, even if it's not their scent. So say that you happen to send like aloe water and cucumber and something, and they're like, I really love the counter clean, but it wasn't quite strong enough. You have the option of either putting on the QR code or the information that there are other scents. So they tried the product, they like the product, but they want a different smell. Now 25 or 27% of people will purchase off of just a commercial, which technically when you go live, you show products like real pictures, that is good. That's your commercial for your business, because Scentsy has their brand. Well, I'm kind of getting off subject, but anyways, and then you are branding your things. Branding is another thing I have written down on my list. If I get time, I will talk about branding. But you have to think about is that every time that you go live and every time that you post things, you are technically being a commercial, an advertisement for purchasing Scentsy through you. Since COVID has happened, party packs and the online partying has flourished more for her with using the party packs. And that the party packs can be almost anything that you feel like sending out. If you want to send out samples of wax, if you want to send out rub and sniff stickers, maybe I've been sending out some testers because I have so many of them. And that allows the customers to have the scent underneath their nose when I start talking about different things. You got to think about the whole sampling thing as when you go to Sam's. I'm pretty sure everybody around here has either been to a Sam's or knows what I'm talking about in the Sam's warehouse stores or wholesale stores. Is you walk in on normally it's on Saturdays and Sundays or Fridays and Saturdays. You walk in and there are people stationed everywhere. And the awesome thing was my mom, we used to go like once a month. We go over to Sam's because we would need to get like toilet paper and paper towels and paper plates. We did a lot of our bulk paper items there because they were on a cheaper scale. But that was like the highlight of my brother's and I's trip was to get the samples, because of course, what happens when the kids run up and they taste it and it's like the cocktail weenies and the barbecue sauce, or they have the little egg biscuits that are the itty bitty egg biscuits or something. And you go up and they give you this little sample and you eat it and you're like, oh my gosh, this is so good. Mom, can we buy this? Can we buy this? Oh my gosh. Because we're sampling, we know that we like it. We know that it tastes good. It smelled good. Oh my gosh. It's so good. We have to have it. And so at that point, they're normally stationed right by the product, or they have this little ticket that they hand you that says, hey, it's over here in the freezer section on aisle, blah, blah, blah. And you go over and you get to purchase it. You go through and you look. So the whole thing about sampling is you have to think about it as you're sending out these different scents and these different products. So your customers will purchase. Now, the whole thing about sampling, not only is that you make the samples, you get it into the customer's hands, but if that is all you do, you're missing the hugest part to that is the follow-up. Follow-up needs to happen within 2 weeks, probably more like 7 to 10 days after they've received it. And this is the reason why. People will get something in the mail and they're like, this is so awesome. What's the first thing you do after you open a package? Me? I throw away the package because I just want what's inside. And so if all of your packaging has your information, has all the stuff on what it is, and they reordered or like reorder with me, a QR code, and they throw everything away except for the one item. Well, if this item isn't labeled with your phone number and your name, how are they going to get a hold of you? Now, they may have your information because they contacted you. They may be in your VIP group. They may be one of your best friends. But you have to think about this on an overall scale. You need to make sure that you are contacting every single person that you send anything to, period. Like anybody. You send a thank you note that has like a little scratch and sniff sticker. You need to contact that customer and say, how did you like that scent? Why? Because again, when they smell it, their instantaneous response is either they're going to love it or hate it, but they'll buy it then. It's kind of like that the intensity of us going to like SFR and we're like, oh, we are so ready to go back next year and everything. You have that adrenaline, that thrill, that rush. And then you get home and then like life starts happening. It's like, oh SFR was amazing. And then it's like, and then after 6 months, it's kind of like, yeah, SFR was a lot of fun and we had a lot of fun. And then we're like, oh, why didn't we think about SFR and get everything planned? We were going to put all this money back and we were going to do all this, because the thrill of doing it then, like if I'd already booked all my stuff and took care of everything, then I wouldn't have to stress about it in a year, which again, I still haven't done everything for SFR, but that's okay because I will get it done because I'm definitely going every year. But it's that whole almost like an impulse reaction of wanting to purchase. But if they have to reach out to you and they start, like, say they get on their phone and they're going to contact you, and then so-and-so messaged them, or then their kid called, or their husband or their spouse called, or their mom called, and, or, you know, like all of a sudden it's like the school's calling or your work is calling, and then you get sidetracked. And guys, if they're anything like me, which I hope to God you don't have any customers like me, because I am the worst. If you don't follow up with me, you ain't ever getting a sale again, because I'm going to forget your name. And then I'm going to try and search, and then I won't be able to find it because apparently we talked in code. And trust me, it happens to me all the time. But you need to follow up with them and just say, hey, I just wanted to make sure that you got your scratch and sniff sticker. The counter clean, how you liking the counter clean? Did you use it on your counters yet? Did you see how it cleaned up so well? Did you see how the scent that came off of it? And did you see that you'll see next time that you wipe down the counters that it becomes easier and easier to clean off everything. If you do that, then they're like, oh my gosh, I so need to order this, because they may not need it right now, but if they don't order it now, because it's taking about 1 to 2 weeks to get stuff shipped out, guys, they're not going to want to wait 2 weeks to get cleaning stuff when they can go down to the store and get it. So you want to make sure that you're following up with your customers. Let's see. Oh, and the next thing on sampling is you want to make sure that you are giving what Scentsy suggests. Now, in the beginning, when I did Scentsy soap, I think I had my daughter did like a half a tablespoon, because honestly, that's all I used. But I don't do a lot of mani-pedis on myself. I don't use a lot of those body products, like I'm going to say Scentsy soap, because I don't take a bath. So I only use them, put in a basin, put my hands in. It states on the outside of the Scentsy soap that it's suggested at 1 cup. So Joanna Luna said to use 1 cup. She gave the bag sizes that will fit 1 cup of the Scentsy soap. And then that way they can use it as much or as little as they want. But you want to make sure that you are giving them what the suggested size is. So like if you're sending washer whiffs and it says you can do 1 to 2 scoops, you don't want to send them a half a scoop. You want to send them 2 scoops, because what's going to happen is they'll start to sprinkle it. It may not be enough, and they may use all of it, because if they had a huge load of towels or sheets and you only gave them a little bit, and then they're like, I didn't even smell it, what's the point? You want to give them more than enough for 1 full use of whatever it is. Let's see. And of course, it is our job to follow up with the customer. It's not the customer's job to say, hey, I want to order, because again, they're going to think about it. They're going to have great intentions, guys. Great intentions. I always had amazing intentions, because I was like, I already have money put back. I'm going to buy this stuff. And I even started a cart, and then something happens. Someone calls, someone texts, an alert on Facebook comes up, on, I almost said MySpace. I don't even know where that came from. Instagram, TikTok. My husband calls me from the other room. My daughter calls from the bathroom. She needs a towel. I walk away and I come back and I can't even remember why I walked out of the room. I mean, it's just one of those things. And so if you are talking to the busy moms or dads or the busy anybody's, they're not going to just be sitting there thinking just about you. You're not a priority in their mind, but you need to have them as a priority in yours. Another way to help with the sampling is not only do you make sure that they get a full amount, for helping with orders, she had 2 suggestions. So one of them is that if they purchased the item that they got a sample of, they could get 10% off the next order. So something to offer. Now, anything that I suggest on offering for like discounts or anything like that, that is all subjective to where you're at in your business. Guys, I put back 15% of my paycheck every single month to pay for things like that, to pay for the shipping when the local orders come to me, to pay for the little goodie bags or the stuff I send out to my customers or to my teamies. Like, that is what I accumulate that extra money for, is to give to others and use for my business. So the other thing is let's see. So she said 10% off of, she had another suggestion on when you use certain containers. I'll go over that kind of whenever she talks about who you're sending what out to. So one thing that she does not do a lot of, she doesn't do a lot of wax. Now, I was surprised about that because I'm like, oh my gosh, you know, I know so many different people that do tons and tons of wax, like wax samples. They do lots of molds. But what she said hit and it resonated with me. Our company was built on warmers and wax. You probably sell more warmers and wax than anything else. You're sampling to have customers try other products. So you have to think about that. She does do the Scent and Warmer of the Month samples. She goes through and she makes all those samples for those and she mails them out. Now, she is a cheapskate. She wants to make sure that her pennies are working for her. And she specifically says, I don't like to spend any money. So she finds the easiest and cheapest way to do things. So of course, during the warm time, she does the felts, but she doesn't do Scentsy felts because she thinks those are too thick and absorbs too much of the wax. So she has, again, on this list, and I will share this list, that she has for the best felts that she needs to send out, because she's not giving them enough to use on wax because they're already using wax, guys. She's getting it so they can smell it, so that they can experience the scent that is from whatever she's sending. Now, she does do very small molds during the colder months for some of the different stuff that comes out. But even on the transition, when it goes to the 10 new fragrances, she only used the rub and sniff stickers because it is easier, it's faster. You put the stickers on and you're done. There's no packaging, there's no going through 10 bars. So that's what she talks about, is that it's not only the saving of the pennies, it's also time efficient. Now, just because if you've sampled the 10 fragrances of the new catalog doesn't mean that you did it wrong. It just means that what she does in large bulk, she can't do for everybody, and it starts to get very expensive. So think of whatever you have spent on shipping in the last 2 months, 3 months, and double, quadruple that. Can you continue with that if your customer base started getting that large? So that's what she basically has kind of brought it down to a minimum, and she bulk samples at one time 3 different products. And so not necessarily all in the same scent. She picks these 3 and she will sample off. Now, again, you don't want to sample off 100 samples if you only have 5 customers. You don't want to sample off, 75, 50 if you only have 20 customers. You want to think about how many you actually need and how much would it, like, how many customers do you have in the last month, 2 months? How often are you sending them out? The next thing is that she does not mail any samples that take a bag. She does the felts to any of her customers that are further away. Now, she does a lot of local delivery. So her stuff that she puts in those bags are the better things, because first she wants to promote for them to pick up. That way she gets to bag them, she gets to tag them, she gets to make them all pretty. And that's the easiest way to get repeat customers, because you can spoil them. The ones that order online, you still want to send them something, but you don't have to send them a $6 bag. You want to try to keep that to 1 to 2 stamps. Now, if anything, you want to make sure, because I try to do a very, very small bag, it's $3.75. I try to do a bigger bag, it's $3.75. So it doesn't matter if it is outside of that envelope range and that flat range, it's going to be $3.75 until you get to a box. So you got to think about that. If the customer orders a scent circle online, are you going to spend $3.75 for that $3 scent circle? Now, granted, that also means that they paid $10 in shipping. So they just paid $13. But your commission off of that is only off the $3. So you need to start thinking about, if you're wanting to find ways to shout out your customers, you want to, show them that you appreciate them. There are ways to do that I've learned from other people, and I'm trying to incorporate into my business. But a voice message to your customers. You can, it doesn't matter if it's through text or Facebook Messenger, you can record a little message and send it to them. You can do, some of them will even go on Snapchat and do a like silly face or whatever, because you can download those to send to your customers. So the other thing, I'll get back to the sampling. The other thing is that for her local customers, there is a certain bottle that she gets for our bathroom cleaner to sample it. Now, our bathroom cleaner only activates when it's in foam stasis. So if you pour it into just a sprayer and it's not a foamer, it does not activate the bathroom cleaner correctly. So she has, and they're a little bit more expensive, but she tells them, if you return it, you get $1 off of your next order of bathroom cleaner. And they'll bring back the empty bottle and she will clean it. And then that way she can reuse them. Now the bottles probably, she says she thinks it's somewhere between 50 to 60 cents a piece. So her giving them $1 for her not to have to buy that and get it, order a whole bunch of new ones. And it's not like they mail it back. She only gives that to her local people. And normally what happens is that when they pick up an order, they get it, they go home, they use it. The next time that they have an order, when they come back, they hand her that bottle, they have their next order, they take it back, maybe another sample in there, but then they will return it back to her. And that way she keeps her sampling overhead very minimum on that. Again, she does a lot more for her local. Let's see. It's easier to retain one customer than it is to get 7 new customers. Just think about that. It's easier to retain one customer than it is to get 7 new customers. Or I'm sorry, one retained customer is worth 7 new customers. I'm sorry, I said that wrong. I have my chicken scratch on here. I'm trying to make sure I remember everything. So retaining a customer and doing your follow-up, your customer retention, you can search that through YouTube if you need to find any videos, if you're not quite sure what's the best way for customer retention. And when I tell you what's the best way, it's the best way for me, or the best way I've seen it done. Guys, how you run your business is going to be totally dependent on how you are. Okay. I have worked retail and customer service my entire life. I know that just being kind and grateful to customers is one of the easiest things for me to do. I may not always like it, but I always will be kind to a customer. No matter if they're yelling at me or whatever, I also know not to respond. I also know to walk away. So just remember that your retention, let me say it again, 1 retained customer is worth 7 new customers, because they may order a small amount in the beginning just to kind of see how it goes. And then they may order more and more and more. Your fortune is in the follow-up. Let's see what else I have over here. And then you want, the reason why you're following back up with them is you want feedback and you keep track of it. Now, granted, if you're just starting to do sampling, or maybe you're doing your 3 products this month or next month, you're going to know what you sent as samples, because you only did the 3 products. Maybe they got all 3, maybe they only got 1, maybe they only got 2, but you're going to know which samples you gave out because you just finished doing them. You want to make sure that you are following up with the customers. Again, 5 to 10 days. Like if they're local to you and you hand it to them and you say, hey, I just put some bathroom cleaner in there. They're like, oh my gosh, I'm going to try it tonight. Guys, there is nothing wrong with you following up with them tomorrow and just saying, hey, how'd you enjoy that bathroom cleaner? And if they're like, oh, I didn't get a chance last night, it's like, no problem. I'll check back with you after, in a couple of days. Guys, when you follow up, and if they say, oh, I haven't tried it yet, you can tell them when you're going to follow up with them again. You can ask them, when would be the best time for me to follow up with you? Now, if they just got something and they're supposed to try it out, I don't normally ask them when I need to call, like message back or get back in contact with them. I normally say, hey, I'll message you in the next couple of days and we'll see how you like it. That way they know to expect my message. So I'm not bothering them because I've already preemptively told them I'm going to message them back. Now, if they tell me that they're not ready to order, that's when I go into the mode of, well, you know, like I can't order that yet. I don't get paid until XYZ, or I haven't gotten paid yet. Be like, that's fine. Do you want me to follow back up with you? It's a real easy question. There's nothing to get offended by it. They're not going to be like, why would you want to message me back? People are very similar to what I do. Like, I forget. It's not that my intention was to blow you off. My intention was to buy it, and I want to buy a whole bunch of stuff, but I forget, guys. So if honestly, I'll tell you what, I had one consultant on another direct sales, was the only person I purchased from for almost 2 years. And the reason why is because every time she asked me to order, and I said, I don't get paid till Friday of next week or this week, she goes, awesome. I will message you Thursday night. You know why? Because she realized that when she messaged me Friday morning, I'd already paid all my bills by the time she messaged me. If she messaged me on Thursday night, then I already had it in my head. The minute I got up at 5:30 in the morning and I got to work by 6:30, and I was paying my bills online to get everything paid out because my paycheck had just hit, that by the time she messaged me at 7:30, 8 o'clock, the money was already gone. Everything was gone because that's how I lived, paycheck to paycheck. So following up with your customers and checking back with them. And if they say that, no, they haven't tried it yet, say, that's fine. I'll just check back with you in another couple of days. I really want to know what you think about it. You know, let me know, you know, and you can even say, I would love for you to shout me out in the VIP group, or will you take a picture of what you cleaned before and after, or, you know, let me know what you think about the scent. You can just take a picture of the wax or whatever you sent them. The scenarios are going to be endless because it depends on what you sent them. Already did that. Let's see what else I got here. But again, the biggest thing that she highlighted is that she does not mail out her large samples. And when I say large samples, I'm just saying anything other than something flat. So now on the Scentsy soap, because she does put a cup, but it's a very large bag, it's actually pretty dang flat as long as she smooths it out. So those might be able to squeeze through. Again, you just want to make sure that you either talk to your post office or make sure, because they will come back and charge you a large amount if you only put one stamp and it's supposed to be 2 or any of that stuff. What else? Okay, so these are the things of how she does her wax samples. She does the very, very thin felt samples in the warm months. She will do crinkle cuts. So basically, she doesn't give them like a block. She crinkles it up and it is sprinkled into the bag. Guys, again, she's just trying to get scents under their nose because we are a wax and warmer. Almost every single person that you have as customers has a wax and has warmers. She will do the small molds, but again, she does do something every single month with their scent and warmer of the month. And you follow up. So it's samples, follow up, and they will buy. Don't give away free products. So let me know. I will post the video onto the team page with her video, along with in her information on the YouTube. It has these sheets. These, again, gave me the aha moment of what she was sampling, because Blake asked me all the time, what do you want me to sample? I'm like, I don't know. What do you want to sample? Well, now I can be like, start on the top of the list and go down from there. I will start buying each one of these. And again, I only buy them with my Scentsy money that I put off to the side. That's the biggest thing. Don't spend more money than you're making. If you're spending $300-400 a month, but you're only making 100 or 50 or 25, guys, that's not how Scentsy's supposed to work. And you'll get burnt out because you're like, I spent all this money. And then you'll have a room like I do that's just full of stuff. So, another thing, I'm done with the sampling, but we are going to go over the incentives. I'm going to move. I'm not seeing anybody online, so I'm going to move this over a little bit so I can get to the incentive page. And I'm going to move this behind my camera so that way when I'm looking at my screen. Wait, that one's not the incentive, Cassie. I got to get to the right page. But with us getting to the end of the first month, I want you guys to understand a little bit about the incentive and how to look at it, how to kind of start calculating it. Again, if you want a one-on-one of everything that you need to do or what you need to hit, we can go over that. I can be very specific that way. If you're in my front line, I can see your numbers. If you are in my second generation, I can't see your numbers. So you'll have to either send me a screenshot or be able to screen share so I can show you and walk you through your progress. So let me get on here and I'm going to share my screen. Share screen, and it's, where are you at? There it is, incentives. Okay, Mary Alice, can you give me a thumbs up if you see this? It's my incentive page. Okay, all right, so this is the overview. So on this, oh, let me show you where this is at. When you get on your Scentsy dashboard, you go over here to the more. Now this is going to be the same on your phone as it is on the laptop. It's in the more, and then you go down to incentives. When you click on that, this is the front page that's going to come up. It's the Scentsy Incentive Trips 2023 overview. You can watch the great little video. It shows you all the different places that you can go. And then they list the dates and the locations right here. These are where you have a choice. Now, top achievers pick first. Guys, don't be set on one location only. You're going to have to be flexible unless you want to be one of the top achievers. And it is achievable. Guys, I don't know how to reiterate this more than anything else, but starting as a new consultant, starting as brand new, like you could start today and it will be easier for you to earn this trip than it is for someone who has, like, I don't get a promotion to director because I've already been there once. I don't get that promotion bonus points a second time just because we're in a new incentive. So for me, the only way to get a promotional points is for me to hit star director. So just think about it, starting off as an essential or a certified consultant, it is easier than hitting it after you've been a director, a star director, or superstar director. So with that in mind, these are the points. Now, level 1, 18,000 points, no sponsoring points required. That means once you've accumulated 18,000 points, your first circle will be fully full. Okay. And I'll show you mine here in just a moment. Level 2, 25,000 points. Within those 25,000, 1,250 are required for sponsoring points. Level 3 is 45,000 points. This includes the last one was trip 1. This one's for trip 2, and it includes 2,500 sponsoring points. So that's the breakdown for the 3 levels. So there's only 3. 1 is SFR, 2 is SFR and level and 1 entry, and then level 3 is SFR and a trip for 2. Okay, so let's get over here to track your, actually, we're going to go to how to earn. We're going to go to how to earn first. These are your breakdowns. What you are seeing here is how you get each of the points. So these first ones are for your points. These are not these are the promotional points, not sponsoring points. So every point of PRV that you get 1 point. So if right now you're sitting at 100 PRV, you're going to have 100 incentive points in your tracker. Okay. So all that being said, the next one, attend world tour in person, receive 500 points towards incentive. Now, somebody had asked previously, and I did find the answer on the director's page, is if you sign up to go to multiple world tours, does that mean you get multiple points? The answer is no. One world tour, one set of 500 points. It doesn't matter how many you go to, you only get 500 points maxed out on that. But going to World Tour, they're local, guys. Last year, there was going to be one in Houston. There was one in Dallas. And I want to say there was one more in Texas. Or was that it? Dallas? Oh, there was Oklahoma City. So anybody who's up north, Oklahoma City was another one. And then I'm trying to think if there was another one close to us. There was one in Missouri, which, yeah, I'm trying to think. There's another one I was looking at. I think maybe it was St. Louis. So so the world tours are small SFRs. So if you take, I know that a lot of you did not go to SFR, but you take a convention, like a hotel convention room, you have multiple tables. It's an all-day event. They'll have different things planned, and you go through and you get training. You get to see different things, and you get different things. Now, it's not going to be like SFR where it's 3 days. It's normally 1 day. And I think last year it was listed from 9 to 5 or 9 to 4. They do break for lunch that you can leave and go somewhere to eat. And then you can come back, and it's a second set of training. World Tour, guys, that's free 500 points. Like, that's a gimme because it's going to help you with your business. The next one, consistency, hitting 1,000 or more PRV in 5 out of 6 months. Now, guys, if you sit there and look at it like 1,000, oh my gosh, I'm not even that close. Guys, if this needs to be your first month out of the 6 that you don't get it, that's okay. It doesn't mean you won't get the next 5. That means you start planning now and you start looking at how to increase your PRV. The next one, personal promotions. So if you promote, so again, the essential consultants, you promote to certified, you get 1,000 points. You promote to lead, you get 1,500 points. You promote to star, 2,000 points. Now the ones down here, the activity bonuses are you getting paid at rank. So if you get a promotion and then you get paid at rank, this is like a double thing for these. Okay. So the next is 250 points for a front line that you sponsored prior to August 1st, being promoted to certified consultant. Guys, give me just a second. I have to step out of the room. I will be Okay, I am so extremely sorry. I'm going to finish up this as far as I can, and then I'm going to have to go ahead and let you guys go. But I think I was at the 25, 250 points. If you have a frontline consultant that started prior to August, hit certified. So if they started on July 31st and they get certified, then you get 250 points. Now, if you have a new consultant, so if you get someone who signed up after August 1st and they get certified, there's 1,000 sponsoring points. Guys, all these sponsoring points, these are the things that you need for level 2 and level 3. Okay? So this is what you need to focus on if you are wanting to take one of those trips, is either helping your teamies that you currently have or getting new teamies. And guys, I will tell you this, the easiest way to get a teamie is to ask the question. If you don't ask the question, what's the question going to be? It's always going to be no, because you didn't ask the question. And then also, if your teamies, your front line, now not second gen, so anybody who is not my front line is on second gen, I don't get points for you. The person who gets points is the person you signed up underneath them. And it's 1,000 points if they promote to a lead consultant, star consultant, superstar consultant, director for the first time. That's why I don't get any points, because I don't get promotion points because I have to do star director. Okay, so here's how you track your progress. So this is where I'm at. Right now, I have 1,501 points. Now, I have 250 sponsoring points because one of my direct downline hit certified. So they hit certified, but they were before August 1st. So I only got 250. Now, if you do this little drop down, it's going to tell you who it is. And I did not get a chance to ask them, so I'm not going to show their name on this right now. And as you go through your ranks, so as your PRV is going up, as you're going through, this updates every night about 2 a.m. Central Standard Time, which is about midnight for Pacific time. So I am right now being paid as a star consultant. So I already have 300 points. Once I hit to superstar consultant, it will hop up to 500 right here. Now that's not in addition to, it's instead of. Once I hit the PRV consistency, now I have to hit this 5 out of 6 months before it will show up. So the soonest it would show up would be December, will be the first time we start seeing those consistency points for everybody who hit them for the first 5 months. If anybody misses any one of those first 5 months, and then gets it on January, then that's when their 1,500 points are, the 2,500 points will show up. So again, breaking this down, it's hard to say you only have this many points you can earn, because you can earn so many points upon points of doing certain things consistently. So 1,000 PRV a month. Again, if you're not trending towards there and you don't think you're going to get there, then let's sit down and talk, because you can hit 1,000 PRV at any point in time. It takes time, it takes patience, and it takes consistency. If you start and stop and start and stop and start and stop, it's going to be hard to get that buildup. But sometimes you have to change your mind. Like, we're starting to cruise through spring and summer and everything, because it's a little bit slower months, and there's not like a lot of people of my customers all love fall and winter. Well, guys, there's still stuff coming out. We still have the redemptions for Cinderella coming out on Monday. If you missed that, I believe there may be more information being released tomorrow on things that are releasing on Monday. There is a debate on whether it's going to be there or not. Because it's not confirmed, I'm not going to tell you what the rumor is, because I don't want you thinking that it's for real. So again, this month is not over. In 7 days, guys, 7 days, you can get where you currently are at and at 1,000. Okay? You can do it. I know you can. because I don't think that there's anybody on this team that couldn't do it once they put their mind to it. Now, I understand that there's always different reasons, and I hate to say this, but excuses on why you're not hitting certain PRV. Guys, when I buckled down and I said, I will hit 4,000 in the month of April, and I sat there every single day, guys, I was exhausted, but I hit that 4,000 in a year that I hadn't hit more than 2,000. It had been almost a year since I'd hit over 2,000, and I got 4,000 in 1 month. How? I was messaging everybody. I didn't care if they told me no before. I didn't care if they told me no yesterday. I was messaging them again. I was asking for referrals. I was basically doing all the things that you normally do in a laid back environment. I was doing it on a day-to-day basis. I sat there and said, instead of doing 5 people a day, like messaging them, I was messaging 20 to 25 every single day. And then trying to figure out who I didn't message. And it was hard. I'm not going to say it's easy. Guys, these incentives aren't easy, but they're doable. Like, this is easier than the 2 years that I've been in the fall incentives, because the sponsoring points are the least. I missed having 1 trip to Alaska off of 100 sponsoring points. There was nothing else I could do. I would have already had at this point, I would have already had level 2 in sponsoring points if the incentives that we had, like if it was this points for last season. So just think about this, is that this is a great way to start working on incentives. We have 6 months. Guys, it doesn't matter if this whole month, you feel like this whole month is screwed off, but don't think that you just need to take off the rest of this month. If you think that you can't get any more PRV for this month and you don't think you can do anything else, okay. But you better be starting to work on next month. All of the stuff that's releasing on September 1st. Guys, we have an additional catalog outside of our regular catalog that is releasing on the 1st. We have tons of stuff, guys. You all know at least 1 to 2 to 3 Harry Potter lovers. And if they don't love Harry Potter, their kids do, their siblings do, their parents do, their dogs do. I don't know, like, seriously, you know somebody. So your question needs to start being to people that you talk to is like, hey, do you know anybody who loves Harry Potter? Do you mind sending this or introducing us in a 3-way chat? Because if they love Harry Potter, I think they're going to absolutely love what is releasing on the 1st. Those warmers, so they get the chance to get the castle that was released before. And then they have the new one. They have the train. They have, this time, it's not just a 4-pack. You can buy each individual wax. I had so many people who bought the 4-pack that were like, I just want Hufflepuff. I just want Slytherin. But they didn't get it because they didn't want to buy the whole 4-pack. Guys, you can build up all of September in the 1st day. But it's all up to you. This incentive, when you break it down month by month, it is not that hard. But you have to want it. You have to actually go through and be like, this is what I want. And on the days that's hard, you're going to have to push through. Now, I'm not saying you don't take any days off. I'm saying you have to be touching your business every day. What else in here? So personal promotions will show up here. It'll let you know any points and which month you get it in. And then again, like I said, on your PRV, it's 1 point per PRV point. So this is how you track it. Now, I can see the front line here. I'm not going to open this up because I will upload this to YouTube. I don't want to disclose anybody else's information besides my own. This right here, this downloadable printable tracker. Guys, this is a great way for you to be able to physically look and visually see and fill in the things that are needing to he scared me. That are to see your progression, to see where you're going to, see how far away you are. It's a great way that you're like, ooh, I hit another 100. So you can put that on there. Ooh, I hit another 50. You can make your own. Guys, you can make your own fill-in charts. You can make it colorful. You can do designs. I mean, there is so many different groups out there right now that have different trackers. All you got to do is put incentive trackers and you could find something. Let's see. How else is this? How to earn. Those are the points. And then, of course, here is your FAQs. So if you have any questions, this is going to be your first place to go. I know most of them. I probably know most of your questions that you will ask, and I should be able to answer them. But this is going to go into the details. Just because I tell you something, I may not honestly know that it's not true. Guys, I am not the workstation. I am not Scentsy. I don't count up your points. I can't say if you earn it or not. You need to make sure that if you have a legitimate question of what's going on, that you find out from the source. I will give you the information. I will tell you where to go to verify it, because if it does not specifically state your certain question, I may not be able to answer it correctly. But here it is. Who is eligible? All consultants worldwide are eligible to earn one incentive trip for their region. Okay. So these are our 4. Guys, the other regions only get 1 option. We get 4. When is the qualifying period? It started August 1st and it goes until January 31st. How many points are needed to qualify? This again breaks it down. 18,000, 25,000, 45,000, and then of course the sponsoring points of 1,250 and then 2,500. How do I earn the trip? Every single thing here is going to let you know exactly what we went through. This is just all in words instead of with pictures. So I'm not going to go through every single one of these. I am going to go ahead and stop streaming to Facebook. I didn't see anybody else's comments on here. I just wanted to thank you guys. Hold on, let me go ahead and stop screen sharing. Thank you guys for showing up to Work It Wednesday. I really appreciate it. Just remember that the people who show up will go up. This is how you get your training every week. There are tons of other groups, so I'm so glad that you were able to join us tonight. I hope to see you next Wednesday at 7:15. I open the Zoom at 8 o'clock. I start streaming to Facebook. That way you can return to see it later. You can pause me. You can fast forward the little blank amount of time that was a little bit ago. And I will upload this to YouTube. If you have any other questions, please message me. I love you all. I hope you have a blessed night, and I'll talk to you later. Now, if I can find where to stop it.